Imagine this: you built a business from nothing. It supports your family, your employees, and your community. But one day, you're gone. Your kids don't agree on what to do next. Your money is stuck inside the company. The business is vulnerable and no one's ready to take over. This isn't rare, it happens all the time. This is how legacies die. Not in scandal, not from bad decisions, but because there was no plan. Most people think succession is about writing a will or picking a leader. But it's so much more than that. It's about keeping your values, your business, and your family strong, across generations. Let's look at the facts. Only 30% of family businesses make it to the second generation. Just 12% make it to the third. Only 3% survive into the fourth. And it's usually not because of competition or poor finances. It's because of people. Founders who won't step aside. Heirs who aren't ready or don't want the job. Silent disagreements that turn into full-blown conflict when someone gets sick or passes away. This isn't just a problem for billionaires, it happens in family-run real estate firms, shipping companies, consultancies, you name it. So here's the question. If you had to step away tomorrow, who runs the business? Who owns it? Who makes the big decisions? If you don't know, your family probably doesn't either. The families who succeed plan early, and their plans tend to have 5 powerful traits. They're clear, early, honest, layered, and built for real life. It starts with the founder. You need to decide what stepping back means. Do you want to leave completely? Stay involved in the big stuff? Keep voting rights through a trust or special shares? You can separate ownership from control. But if you don't explain it clearly, confusion leads to power struggles, and that leads to family conflict. Don't just pick the eldest child to take over. Ask, who's respected? Who makes good decisions? Who's earned the right to lead? Sometimes the best leader isn't part of the family, and that's okay. Many successful families bring in outside CEOs. They keep the family involved through board seats, family councils, and clear goals that help keep emotion out of business decisions. It's not about loyalty, it's about protecting what you've built. Good families build good systems. They write a family constitution that sets roles and rules. They create shareholder agreements that explain how shares are passed on, who can vote, and what happens if someone wants to sell. They form advisory boards that mix family and outside experts to give balanced advice. These structures help handle disagreements before they turn into lawsuits. Even if the business is doing well, it can still fall apart during a transition if the legal setup is weak. The common mistakes? Huge tax bills when someone dies. Losing tax benefits. Being forced to sell assets to cover liabilities. Losing ownership because of divorce or court battles. That's why smart families use legal tools like discretionary trusts, holding companies, and investment companies. In the US, they might use GRATs or QSBS rules. These tools work, but only if they're set up correctly. One bad clause can cost your family millions. Still, the biggest risk of all is silence. Succession brings up hard topics, like death, power, and fairness. But ignoring them doesn't make them go away. It just makes the outcome worse. The families who succeed are the ones who talk. They hold yearly meetings. They teach the younger generation. They create councils to discuss issues. And they bring in outside experts when talks get hard. It's not therapy, it's structure. And it works. Let's look at 2 real examples. Michael owned a $60 million logistics company. He planned to leave it to his 2 sons. One son worked in the business, the other didn't. Michael passed away suddenly. There were no voting rules, no agreements, no clear plan. One son wanted to sell, the other refused. They went to court, clients left, employees left. 2 years later, the company was sold for 1/3 of its value. The brothers no longer speak. Now compare that to the Harper family. They owned a $90 million manufacturing firm. Over 7 years, they built a clear plan. They hired a CEO from outside the family, created a holding company, formed a board with both family and independent members, put 60% of the shares into a trust, and hosted yearly shareholder events to teach the next generation. They didn't just keep their company, they grew it by 28% during the handover. They didn't leave the future to chance. They treated succession like strategy. So what should you do next? Start the conversation. Even if you're not ready to step away, the sooner you talk, the more options you have. Build a team. Get a tax advisor, a legal expert, a family governance coach, and a trusted outsider to help you see what you might miss. Plan for what ifs. What if your chosen successor leaves or gets divorced or passes away? What's the backup plan? Review your documents, wills, trusts, shareholder agreements, insurance policies. Run simulations. Ask what happens in real situations like illness, legal issues, or market downturns. And prepare the next generation. Don't wait until they're older. Get them involved early. Give them projects. Let them learn. Let them fail and grow. And finally, don't just pass down money. Pass down values. Write down what you believe. What matters most? Share lessons from your journey. Write letters to future leaders. This is your legacy brief. It protects what money can't. Succession is not just a legal task. It's the passing of leadership and values. Done well, it builds something that lasts. Done badly, it can tear everything apart. Smart modern wealth looks beyond just passing money down. You've seen why family businesses fail. But here's what shocked us. These same families miss huge tax breaks right now. Business owners using 401ks are wasting hundreds of thousands every year. We'll show you what to use instead. Watch now.